Let's dive right into it. Here is a list of some absolutely wild NHL facts. Wayne Gretzky's first professional goal was scored against none other than the Edmonton Oilers. He played for the Indianapolis Racers of the WHA, and in 1978 he scored his first professional goal against the very team that he would lead to literal hockey glory. He also scored another goal like 5 seconds later. This is probably the moment that the Oilers knew they wanted him on their team. In 2013, Jake Allen was named to the NHL's All-Rookie team. 2 years later, he did it again. This is because he retained his rookie status in the NHL. Rookie goalies are stars. Matt Murray won back-to-back Stanley Cups as a rookie. Ken Dryden won the Conn Smythe and Stanley Cup in 1971. He would win Rookie of the Year and be awarded the Calder Cup in 1972. The first hockey puck was frozen cow poop. Jaromir Jagr was around playing professional hockey before Internet Explorer existed, and he has continued to play hockey even after Internet Explorer was shut down. Since his career began, the NHL added 11 brand new franchises. Keith Tkachuk was drafted, played in the NHL for 18 seasons, had 2 sons who grew up to be drafted in the NHL, one of them being Matthew Tkachuk, who was drafted by the Calgary Flames. He would then play with none other than Jaromir Jagr. And the following players played their entire careers, retired, and then made the Hockey Hall of Fame. Nathan Horton scored a goal in a game he didn't play in. The Columbus Blue Jackets were playing the Dallas Stars, and the game was stopped partway through the first period when Rich Peverley collapsed on the bench and the game was postponed. Horton had scored before that, so when the game was rescheduled, the Jackets kept their 1-0 lead, and Horton was credited with the goal. However, Horton didn't play in the rescheduled game due to a back injury. Wayne Gretzky has 50 career hat tricks. He has more hat tricks than 3/4 of players who have played in the NHL have had career goals. Piggybacking off that, Hall of Famer Pavel Datsyuk never had a regular season hat trick. He only had one hat trick, and it was in the 2008 playoffs in Game 3 of the Western Conference Final against the Dallas Stars. Another iconic Russian forward, Alex Ovechkin, has never scored a playoff overtime goal. At the time of this video, he is currently 21 goals away from tying Wayne Gretzky's goal record, about to be the greatest goal-scoring forward in NHL history, 945 career goals including the playoffs, Hall of Famer as we know it, and he's never scored a playoff overtime goal. Neither did Pavel Datsyuk, or Gordie Howe, Marcel Dion, even Mario Lemieux. The 2020 Boston Bruins are the only President's Trophy winners who did not go into the playoffs as the 1 seed. The Bruins had the best record before the season was stopped due to COVID-19. The league then did a tournament to determine playoff seeding, and the Bruins were in a round robin with the other top 4 in the East. The Bruins lost all their games, so they fell to a 4th seed. The Stanley Cup isn't owned by the NHL. The NHL would have to forfeit their contract to use it if they do not remain the most competitive or elite level hockey league in the world. Former Penguins owner Jack McGregor had the genius idea to have a live-in mascot. He got Pete the Penguin from the Pittsburgh Zoo. He wanted to see if the Penguin could skate, so he bought him some custom skates. The 1932 Stanley Cup Final was a best-of-5 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers. The Rangers had home ice advantage, and the series was scheduled to be a 2-2-1 format. Games 1 and 2 were in New York, 3 and 4 were in Toronto, and Game 5 was going to be in New York if necessary. However, due to the circus being in town at Madison Square Garden, the league had to move Game 2 to the Boston Garden, and it's still the only time a Stanley Cup Final game has ever been played on a neutral rink. The St. Louis Blues once simply didn't show up to the draft as a protest. In 1983, the ownership of the Blues tried to sell the team to investors who wanted to move the team to Saskatoon, but the NHL stepped in and vetoed the move, so the Blues boycotted the draft in protest. The first 3v3 overtime game winner in a regular season game was scored by Jason Garrison. It was nasty. That's a defenseman. From 1966 to 1980, Henri Richard had more Stanley Cups than he had birthdays. That's because Henri Richard's actual birthday is only on leap years. Brooks Laich assisted on Michael Nylander's last NHL goal, and Michael's son William's first NHL goal. Like father, like son. That's all the fun facts that I have for this video. If you have a fun fact that should make it in the next one, leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.